Hey guys, this is Ely Delaney here with mybusinessmarketingmentor.com with another Driving Your Marketing video. And what I want to talk about today is trade shows. We actually just went to a trade show, so it's kind of something that's on the top of my mind. Last week, we went to a fairly big trade show event, and we got there probably about a half an hour into when it was officially supposed to start. No, actually about an hour into about when it was supposed to actually start. And the funny thing that was that as we're walking in, we're going through doing our networking, checking out the other exhibitors, and we're business to business. This was a business to business show, so it was a perfect area for us. And one of the things that I noticed was that even at this time frame, this was supposed to go on for 4 hours or 3 hours, halfway into the show, people are already packing up. And it just really blew me away. And I see this at trade shows all the time, and it just amazes me. A lot of the people there were already starting to pack up, and I'm like, okay, you paid the money to be part of this trade show, so why are you leaving early when you could potentially be getting additional business out of it? You want to get your money's worth, right? Now, one of the other things that I wanted to point out on here was that as we're walking around and checking out people's booths and everything, there was a bunch of people that were sitting there behind their booths, sitting in the chairs, hanging out, not really interacting with the people that were coming through. They weren't asking questions, they weren't introducing themselves. As a matter of fact, there was actually a couple guys sitting there, each drinking a beer, which is fine, except for the fact that if you're doing something to this effect, you're using a trade show, you're spending the money to be part of a trade show, you really do want to be getting your money's worth and make sure it's effective for you. So a couple of things I really want to touch on here is, number one, if you are going to do a trade show, you want to be there early. You want to show up as early as possible, because you're going to get a chance to get anything out of the way, make sure all your booth parts and everything all work out. You'll be prepared in case there is an emergency, and it gives you a chance to get everything set up ahead of time and then actually network with the other vendors there. And that's one thing that a lot of people tend to forget about and not really think about that. Depending on your type of business, they might be the perfect prospects for you. So you want to actually go through, do some networking, hand out cards, introduce yourself, get to know these other vendors better. The second thing is that as you're running your booth during the show, you want to be out front. You should not be sitting in a chair behind there reading a book or drinking a beer like these guys were doing. You should be out in front of your booth, interacting with people as they walk by. Introduce yourself, say, hey, this is Eli, or I'm Eli. How are you doing today? Are you having a good time? Start some form of interaction, because the people that are walking through there, a lot of times they're just browsing, but they may not be comfortable enough just walking up and asking questions. Some people are still scared. I mean, that just happens. You want to be proactive, make them feel comfortable, and start a conversation with them. That starting a conversation, no matter what it is in your business, is going to be really important. So the couple of things you should do is you do want to make sure that you're asking them questions, introduce yourself, ask them what they do, do what you can to start the conversation, and then ask them for their business cards. If you collect their business cards, now you have a way to contact them after the fact. If you just give them your business card, now you're waiting for them to contact you, and they may never do it. They may not do it because of the fact that they're not really sure. They may not do it because of the fact that they lose your card. You don't know, but you have no control over that. So you do want to make sure that you're asking for the business card. See if you can connect with them. Great way to also do this is have people sign up for a mailing list. You can have a form right there they can fill out. You can have a drawing where people can draw business cards or fill out a form, and you can collect that information in order to use it after the show. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the after the show. You want to stay for the entire time. It still just blows me away that people would spend money for a trade show, and even a cheap trade show is usually going to cost you $75 or so just to have a booth, not including the actual materials and your actual display boards and things like that. But just to be there, it's going to cost you $75, and sometimes they're up to thousands of dollars. So, I mean, if you're spending that kind of money, you want to stay the entire time. I don't care how bored you end up think you are. You want to be there the entire time, because you never know when that right client may walk up to your booth. And as you're tearing everything down, you also want to make sure that, once again, you're going around and doing some networking with the other attendees as everybody's tearing their stuff down. Why do you want to do that? Because, again, that's another potential customer of yours. You want to actually build those relationships, get to know them, ask them questions, let them get to know you, exchange business cards, see if you can start a relationship with them. I personally have done trade shows before. I do more business after the show, during the teardown, than I do during the show. So depending on your industry, that may or may not work, but chances are you're definitely going to get something out of it. You know, if nothing else, maybe a potential partner that you guys can refer business back and forth to, something to that effect. So be sure that you're actually doing all these things. Don't waste your money on trade shows. If you're going to just show up, sit there like a bump on a log and not do anything, don't waste your money. I mean, it really boils down to that. If you're actually planning on being proactive, utilizing that as a good marketing tool for you, or a good marketing resource for you, you've got to take action with it, be effective, and actually just interact with people. I mean, that's what it's all about. Alrighty, so that really pretty much boils down the basics of the trade show fiasco that I saw this week. And I just want to make sure that if you're doing these kind of things, be sure to take action. Make your marketing as effective as possible. Don't halfway do anything. If you're going to do it right? Okay. So once again, this is Eli with MyBusinessMarketingMentor.com. I hope this video was helpful for you. Look forward to seeing you at your next trade show. Thank you very much, and you have an awesome day.